Hello students, myself Tehsin Sheikh. Welcome to Nagesh Karasgi Orchid School channel. Today we are going to study our economics lesson number 2, that is people as a resource. Students, in the first lesson we had discussed about the different resources, different physical resources like land, labor, money, machinery. These all are physical resources, but now in this lesson we are going to study about the people as a resources. Now how people they are become resources? So education, skill, knowledge, health, these all things are provide or required for people when people want to become as a resources. So because of that, under the people resources, in this chapter we are going to study about the people as a resources overview, economical activities by men and women, quality of population and unemployment of India. So in this point, in these topics we are going to study in this lesson. And before we start today's session, once you watch this video, through this video you know the importance of people for the country, and our country's development is totally depend on the people resources, because when highly educated, technologically skilled, knowledge, healthy people, they are giving more contribution in our Indian economy. And because of that, nowadays many highly developed countries like Japan, China, European countries, they are investing more in their people resources, and because of that economically also these countries are developed. And when we watch the some poor countries like African countries, these countries they are not in investment more capital in the people resources, and because of that they are financially or socially also backward countries. So students, let's start our lesson number 2 with one video. Watch the video on the screen. Okay?
Capital. Investment in education, information, health and medical care, migration and on-the-job training are considered as the main sources of human capital. Let's discuss about these sources one by one. Education is very important in today's life. It increases the value and efficiency of labor, which in turn helps in increasing economic efficiency and social consistency. Efficient labor ensures the competitiveness of a country in the world market. Education prepares people for dynamic situations by developing values, aptitudes, knowledge, and skills. So, education provides foundation for the economic development of a country by increasing overall productivity and intellectual flexibility of the labor force. Information. Individual consumers may not have complete information about the price and quality of services. Therefore, people spend money to acquire information relating to labor market, prevailing salary associated with various types of jobs, education, health, etc. Information helps in making right investment, resulting in a rise in human capital formation. Health and medical services. Health is both an end and means of development strategy. A healthy labor force is more productive than an unhealthy labor force. So, health status of human resources is important for the development of a country. Preventive medicine, curative medicine, social medicine, and provision of safe drinking water and sanitation are the various forms of health expenditure. Migration. People migrate from one place to another in search of employment. that fetch them higher salaries, which is not available in their native place. Migration involves cost of transportation, higher cost of living in migrated places, psychic cost of living in a different cultural setup. Migration helps in human capital formation by facilitating utilization of inactive or underutilized skills. On-the-job training. Firms spend in providing on-the-job training to their workers under the supervision of a skilled worker and sending the workers for off-campus training. Technical training and investment enable workers to acquire specialized skills. Skilled workers can enhance productivity, so expenditure on the job training is an important source of human capital formation.
So students, just we watched the video. Through the video, I hope you can understood the value of human resources. Human resources are major part of the country and the country's development. See students, in the first lesson we had discussed some natural resources like land, labors, but these resources are whole and soul depend on the human resources. These all resources are available on the earth surface, but without human being, they know how to use these resources for their basic need, and after that resources they become very useful or they become very important. So that's why human or people as a resources we are going to study in the lesson number 2. Let's start our lesson number 2 with the chapter. Open page number 16 in your textbook and hold pencil in your hand. Means some difficult words are there or some important sentences are there. You underline the important sentences. See, the chapter People as a Resources is an effort to explain population as an asset for the economy rather than the liability. Now see the students, what is the meaning of assets and liabilities? I will explain. Assets means what? If suppose sometime your parents they are investing their money for the purchasing land, plot, agricultural area, sometime in the gold. When we invest this amount in these particular things, the investment or the money it raise or money increase. Means if suppose now as a investment I will purchase one home in 1 crore, 2 crore rupees. In future the rate of that flat or rate of that home is increased, not decreased. It is called assets. Means when we invest money and this investing money give us more profit, it is called assets. And sometime we are purchasing mobile, car, furniture. In this investment we are losing our money, means the amount of money it reduced in this investment. If suppose just tomorrow or yesterday or day before yesterday you purchased one mobile, okay, that mobile price was near about 20,000 rupees, but once we people use this mobile 2 to 3 days, after that the price of that mobile is reduced, so it is called liabilities. Means see, again I will explain how people is become assets. When we invest education, health, knowledge, skill to the children, at that time in future you people can give us more profit for our country's economical development. But sometimes some people they are burden for that particular nation, like African countries. Population is more, but population they are not highly qualified, educated or healthy people, and because of that they are depend on few working population, and this type of population are not contribute for the country's development. So that's why when population is point, the population is very important when it's become assets, not as a liability. See, the population become human capital when there is investment made in the form of education. Underline students, when it's become investment, when it's become assets. So when we invest more money for the education, training and the medical care. In fact, human capital is the stock of skill and productive knowledge embodied in them. See, people as a resource is a way of referring to a country's working people in terms of their existing productive skill and abilities. Students, in the lesson number 6 of people or population, geography's lesson number 6, we have seen the classification of people or classification of population. First one 0 to 15. Now you all are under the 0-15, so that's why you people are under the children work group. Second group of people, it is called 16 to 59. So it is also called working population. So working population, if more working population healthy, educated, literate, skillful, so they can work more better, and because of that the first group and the third group means what, above 60 people, aged people, they are not working. So because of this third group and first group, the burden of these two groups are under that working population or on the second group, and because of that the working population is very important point or important resources for the country. Looking at the population from this productive aspect, emphasis is ability to contribute to the creation of gross national product. Gross national product means what? Through the industry, agriculture, trade or various activities are going in our India, and through this activity our country is earning money. Sometime we are exporting our material to other countries, it is called more profit, or we can we can able to earn foreign exchange, and sometime we are depend on some other countries for our needs. So at that time we import this material from other countries. So when we import, export and services provide in our India, through this all process we earn the profit. This profit is called gross domestic or gross national product income. Like other resources, population also is a resource, a human resource. See, the population is not only resource, as a human resource. So our India ranks second in the term of population after China. China is ranked first and India ranks second, means we having lots of human population or human resources. Now when this human resources convert as a human capital, let's see. This is the positive side of large population that is often overlooked when we look only at the negative side, considering only the problem of providing the population with food. Now near about our India's population is ranked second, and we required more food for provide our India's large population. But this is the negative side. When we go to the positive side, when we provide job, education, health care to this high population, so they can become the assets, and they will create more food, they will create or they will make more opportunities of job in India, and at that time this is the positive side of our India's high population. See here, education and access to health facility, when the existing human resource is further developed by becoming more educated and healthy, we call it human capital formation. See, not only human resources is important, these human resources, when we give the education, health, skill, knowledge, and after that this human resources is converting into human capital. We call it human capital formation that adds to the productive power of the country, just like physical capital formation. Investment in human capital through education, training, medical care yield a return just like investment in the physical capital. Now students, I will tell you with one more example. Now you all are studying in the 9th standard. Your parents, they are investing money for your education, for your tuition, for your health care, your clothes. Why they are investing this amount? Now near about 40,000, 50,000 fees you are paying every year. Why they are investing more amount to you people? Because in future you can give return more amount or more profit, and because of that, if suppose not all parents they are thinking like that, we want more profit, but sometime you can able to stand for yourself, only for your basic needs you can satisfy through your job, and because of that when we are investing more now our in the present generation, our Indian future is very good or Indian future is very prosperous. So because of that investment of people is very important point. See, this can be seen directly in the form of higher income earned because of higher productivity. of the more educated or the better trained person, as well as the higher productivity of healthier people. See here, India's green revolution is the dramatic example of how the input of greater knowledge in the form of improvement production technologies can rapidly increase the productivity of scarce land resources. Students, in our India, we got freedom in 1947, but our Indian farmers, they were depend on the traditional method of agriculture. They were not used machines or high yielding varieties of doses in the farm, but many agricultural colleges established in our India, and through these agricultural colleges farmers, they were getting knowledge, and in the 1960 in our India's green revolution is the main point or main turning point of India. And in this green revolution, farmers, they were used varieties of chemical, fertilizer, HYV seed, and due to this knowledge and the machinery, they are giving the best output, and Punjab, Haryana, Uttar Pradesh, they are achieved their aim in the 1960s green revolution. India's IT revolution is striking instance of how the importance of human capital has come to acquire a higher position, that of material, plant and machinery. Now, this was the example of green revolution in agriculture sector, but when we see the industrial sector nowadays in Mumbai, Pune, Bangalore, Delhi, then some metro cities of India, they are developed with the IT sectors. IT means information technology sectors. These IT sectors, they are near about contribution is more in our Indian economical development, and very young people or young workers like skilled laborers, they get the job opportunity in this IT field. So, students, not only agricultural field, with industries also very important, and when we provide this all knowledge to our students, to our present generation, so obviously our future is very bright. See here, what is human resource? It is like land or labor, it is more than that. What is human capital? It is like rupees, paise or dollar, it is more than that. So, human resource means what? High population means human resource, and when this human resource is converted into human capital, so at the time of investment in the form of education, health, skill, technology, training, after that this human resource is converting into human capital. Let us see the second page. Students, open the page number 17 in your textbook. See students, some trainers or some people are here, they are working in the different field. One doctor with one patient, okay. See the human capital. Here the human population, when we provide the higher education like MBBS, MD, PAMS, after that is converting into doctor, and doctor is also very important for the country's medical treatment. See, teachers are here. Now we all are teachers teaching to you people, and at the time of teaching we are constructing or we are making our India's bright future. So, your generation is now under our training or under the teaching as a resources. When you become the doctor, engineer or some other field like IAS, IPS officer, at that time you can able to earn money for our India's development. See, some workers are here, teachers or tailor. These all things are very important for the development, and this is called our human capital. Population need not to be burden for the economy, it can be turned into a productive asset by investment in human capital. So, when the people they are working, they are earning income, and through their earning they contribute in our Indian economical development, it is called the Indian economical future or people resources. They are not become a burden. See, it can be turned into a productive asset for investment in into human capital. Now, for example, by spending resources and education and health for all, training of industrial and agricultural worker in the use of modern technology, useful scientific research and so on. The two following cases illustrate how people can try to become a more productive resources. So, see students, when these people they become the resources, in the industrial labor when we provide the training and skill, and for the farmers when we provide the use of modern technology, at that time we can produce more material in our India. Now let us see, two stories are here, and now you students tell me which are the difference in between this story. Okay, first one we will discuss the story, after that you tell me the difference of these two stories. Okay, see, story of Sakal. There were two friends, Vilas and Sakal, living in the same village, Semapur. Semapur, one village in India, and two friends, they both are living in this Semapur, Vilas and Sakal, the name of these students. Sakal was 12-year-old boy. His mother Sheila looked after domestic chores. See, Sakal 12 years and Vilas, they both are friends, means they both are near about same age. But the family situation, Sakal's mother, she is working at the home, she looked the all domestic work. His father Bhuta Chaudhary worked in an agricultural field. The father of Sakal, he is working in the agricultural area as a farmer, and he is producing crop, and the name of father Bhuta Chaudhary. Sakal helped his mother in domestic chores. See, Sakal, when he come back to the home after school, he helped mother to the domestic work. He also looked after his younger brother Jitu and sister Situ. Two younger kids are there, Jitu and Situ, and the Sakal, he is elder. His uncle Sham has passed out the matriculation exam, but was sitting idle in the house as had no job. The Sakal's uncle, he has completed 10th standard, but he has no job opportunity, and due to that he is ideally sitting in the home. Bhuta and Sheila were eager to teach Sakal, and because of that, Bhuta, father of Sakal, and the Sheila, mother of Sakal, they both wanted to teach more education for the Sakal. They forced him to join the village school, which he soon joined. See, they forced to the Sakal, join the school, go to the school, take more education, and after that Sakal, he joined the village school. He started studying and completed his higher secondary examination. He started get education in the school, and after 12th examination, see here, and he has completed 12th examination. His father pursued him to continue his study. After 12th also, his father told to Sakal, you complete your full education, and he raised a loan for Sakal to study a vocational course in the computer. Now they don't have sufficient money, and because of that he take loan from the landholder or from the nearby bank for the complete the education of Sakal, and he joined the computer course also. See, the vocational computer course he joined to this money. Sakal was meritorious student and interested in study from the beginning. With great vigor and enthusiasm, he completed his course. After some time, he got a job in a private firm. See, students, he has completed 12th standard. After that, he has got education of computer. Now, after the computer classes and 12th education, he has completed his upper education also, and after education, he got a job in a private industry. He even designed a new kind of software. He has also completed the computer course, so he is able to design varieties of software in the industry. See, this software helped him increase the sale of the firm, and his boss acknowledged his service and rewarded him with a promotion. Now, with full education, knowledge, talent, skill, he is able to earn more profit, and now his boss rewarded that Sakal with the promotion. Okay. So, this was the story of Sakal. Now, next story we are going to study, that is friend of Sakal, and the name of the Sakal's friend, it's a Vilas. Okay. Vilas was an 11-year-old boy residing in the same village as a Sakal. This is Sakal and Vilas, they both are living in the Semapur area. Vilas' father Mahesh was a fisherman. Now, the father of Vilas, he was a fisherman. His father passed away when he was only 2 years old. See, his father is no more, he is totally passed away before 2 years. His mother Geeta sold fish to earn money to feed the family, and the mother of Vilas, she is working. She sold the fishes in the market as a fisherman. She bought fish from the landowner's pond and sold it in the nearby mandi. The all fishes she caught in the landowner's pond. She could earn only rupees 150 per day by selling this fish. She is only earning 150 rupees per day, means she is not getting salary on the regular basis. She is only earning 150 rupees. When she work, at that time she get the amount, and when she not work, at that time she is unable to get the amount. Vilas became a patient for arthritis. Arthritis means what? It is called joint pain, okay, and he become the patient of this Sandivat or arthritis. His mother could not afford to take him to the doctor. He could not go to the school either. See, because of lack of money, that Vilas mother, she is not take her the doctor or not provide the school education also. He was not interested in studies. He helped his mother in the cooking and also looked after his younger brother Mohan. He was also not interested in the study, and because of that he helped mother in the household work, and after that he handled his younger brother Mohan. After some time his mother fell sick and there was no one to look after her. After some year, that Vilas mother also, she becomes sick, and after she fell sick, she is also not able to go outside and earn money. There was no one in the family to support them, and Vilas too was forced to sell fish in the same village. He, like his mother, earned only a meagre income. Now because his mother, she fell the sick, and after that now Vilas, he started to sell the fish in the market in the minimum amount, and somehow they earn the minimum amount for the family members. Now students, you people tell me the difference between these two studies. See the images. First image, fisherman Sakal. First image, Vilas and his brother with mother, and here in the first image, see here the first person Sakal is here. So Sakal, the lifestyle of Sakal, he is living in the city area, he is working in the industrial sector, his lifestyle is more advanced. And when we come to the Vilas, see he is living in the village, he is working as a fisherman. See Vilas here, see the difference between Sakal and Vilas. So students, now just we have seen the story of Sakal and Vilas. These two friends, they were living in the different atmosphere, and because of that their career or their futures are totally different. Vilas, he is not able to earn more money, and Sakal, he is able to earn money because he has completed education with training, but here no education, no training. So as a homework, you have to write the differences between Sakal and Vilas in the notebook, and just we have completed the story. Before that we have discussed about the why people is important resources for the country's development. In the next point we will discuss about the employment situation of male and female or men and women. So today we will stop here. We will meet in the next lecture. Thank you students.